Eden is a wildlife zoo where the most diverse species of animals in the wild are united. It was opened 50 years ago as a rehabilitation shelter for endangered animals. This sanctuary will soon be open to the public so that everyone can enjoy the different ecosystems and get to know the countless species present there. As well as being a zoo, Eden has also been transformed into a park with attractions for the whole family to enjoy, which will open next week. A few days before the zoo opens its doors, Dr. Gordon receives some primates with rare symptoms in his laboratory. After examining the animals, the vet starts to think that they are suffering from rabies and asks the security guard to close the doors so the monkeys cannot get away. If that occurs, all the other animals will be in danger. One of the primates experiences a cardiac arrest during a seizure, so Gordon decides to give him medicine to attempt to revive him. The other monkeys in the cages at this point become agitated and extremely aggressive, so the vets join in to try to calm them down. Suddenly, the animal which had suffered a cardiac arrest gets up and drops a cupboard on Monty. Terrified, Robin tries to open the door to escape but ends up being attacked and has her eyes removed. Dr. Ellen leads a group of university students to the zoo a few minutes later, where they will be interns for the next few months. According to the woman, it was her grandfather who constructed the shelter for the rehabilitation of endangered animals and was able to save countless species from extinction. That day, her daughter, Thea, accompanied her on the expedition, as the babysitter called in sick at short notice. As a single mother, Ellen had no choice but to take her little girl with her to work. To ensure that all the students get the most out of the expedition, Ellen asks them to hand in their cell phones and assures them that she will return them at the end of the day. When she arrives at the aviary, she asks the bus driver to stop the bus and gets off to meet with her new advisor, Chelsea. Suddenly, Johnny arrives and tells him that he is going to Dr. Gordon's lab as he just sounded an emergency alarm. However, as this happens quite often, the zoo staff are not worried, as they believe that nothing serious has happened. The group reaches the next stop a few minutes later and Ellen tells them that Gus will be waiting for them. Amber is one of the students on the excursion. She is the young daughter of one of the city's richest families, and she's on probation for starting a bar fight when she was intoxicated. The girl is the granddaughter of one of the zoo's main donors, and because of this, Ellen decided to take her on as an intern. Before continuing the expedition, the veterinarian hands Amber a walkie-talkie and asks the girl to contact her if Gus doesn't show up to pick up the students. However, soon afterwards, Gus arrives at the agreed location, and Amber offers to help him feed the boars. Ellen's next adventure is to the gorilla cage, where her daughter has a close friendship with Kfo, a river-cross gorilla from the tropical jungles of Nigeria. The animal and Thea are similar in age and practically grew up together, so they can communicate with each other. Just then, Daxton shows up and learns that he will be a JS mentor, as the man wants to learn more about primates. Thea bids farewell to Kfo and goes with her mother to her job, since she must spend the day with her new intern, Gage. After introducing Gage to the zoo security team, Ellen goes to meet Leslie, the new intern for Rex, the head of security. Suddenly, the man gets a call and is told there has been an incident in Dr. Gordon's lab. Immediately, Rex gets in touch with the rest of the team and discovers that Johnny isn't answering his walkie-talkie and isn't picking up the phone. In an attempt to find out what's going on, Boris tries to call Robin, but the woman doesn't answer either. The guards at this point suspect that something in the lab has escaped, but Ellen tries to reassure them that there is no danger, since Dr. Gordon only works with small primates. Gage follows the security team to the lab that afternoon, and when they arrive, they discover that no one is there. Boris turns off the alarm and sees a bloody hand touching the glass of the door and tries to open it, but the vet presses his own body against the door to stop it opening. So the men decide to join forces to push it open. When they enter the laboratory, they discover that the laboratory is filled with blood, and Gordon instructs the security guards to keep the infected animals from leaving the laboratory. Rex discovers the dead bodies of Johnny and Robin and attempts to find out what happened. At once, there are hundreds of monkeys bursting out of Gordon's body, and some of the other monkeys, who were hiding, come out to attack the guards. Rex runs to help Boris when he sees him being killed, but gets bitten on the neck. Then, Leslie, without hesitation, pulls out the monkey and throws it at the wall, and Gage drags Rex out of the room. The woman sees one of those monsters running towards her, picks up her gun and manages to shoot the head of the monster with one shot. Then she goes outside and attempts to shut the door of the room before the monkeys can get out. As Leslie tries to close the door, Gage slaps the animal attacking Rex, but meanwhile, 3 other monkeys escape. Rex is worried about the safety of the other zoo employees, so he calls Ellen to tell her what has happened, and he will catch the primates before they can infect other animals. The veterinarian uses the trackers to follow the trail of the zombies and tells them that they are heading towards regions in Africa and Australia. While Rex has a hand injury, Leslie takes the helm and follows her boss's coordinates. Ellen sets off the emergency alarm to alert all the employees that a dangerous group of animals is on the loose. The veterinarian decides to activate the containment protocol and locks all the doors so that these animals can't escape from the zoo. The woman tells the workers to go to a safe locked building until the security team can stop the threat. When they get this warning, Gus takes the trainees to the warehouse and Chelsea tells Ricky to help her lock all the doors of the aviary so no kind of intruder can get in. Kfo is fed to Daxton, who then locks himself in his office with AJ, where Gus is attacked by the monkeys. Frightened, the trainees try to flee but can't find a safe shelter and have to climb a tree to avoid being attacked by a feline that has also been infected. When they think they are safe, 2 zombie giraffes come out and attack the trainees. As Jay is being eaten, Leslie appears and begins to shoot at the monsters, but they can't save the man. Amber is attacked shortly after, and just about to be bitten when Rex manages to hit the zombie's head and the young woman falls to the ground. While Gage tries to calm Amber, Rex calls Ellen, and she tells him that she called the police, but they are waiting for animal control to come before they go into the zoo. It will take at least 3 hours for the police to put together the team necessary to contain the contaminated animals, the police said. Unfortunately, if nothing is done, even more specimens will be infected in the meantime. Even knowing this, Ellen orders Rex to take the survivors to the watchtower and stay there until reinforcements arrive, as she doesn't want to put the lives of any more employees at risk. The animals in the zoo are all outfitted with a tracking chip, except for the birds, and Leslie's greatest concern is that those monkeys will be able to get into the aviary. If one of those birds gets infected and manages to escape, it could spread the virus all over the planet. As Rex and Leslie work out their next move, Gage continues to do his best to keep Amber from panicking and ends up getting bitten by a giraffe that suddenly appears. The security guards immediately begin to shoot and kill the zombie. At this point, the trainee's biggest fear is turning into one of those things, but Leslie reassures him that the virus that is turning animals into zombies probably doesn't affect humans. While the man is getting help, Amber steals the car and runs away with the aim of getting out of the zoo. At that moment, police helicopters fly over the site looking for any suspicious activity, but they can't find anything out of the ordinary. When she receives a call from the police, Ellen is relieved and informs them that only a few animals have been infected and are dangerous. When Amber fled with the vehicle, she also took all the weapons and equipment that the guards could use to defend themselves against another attack, even the walkie-talkie that Rex was using to communicate with Ellen. So now they're on their own. Suddenly, the 3 see a group of elephants coming towards them, and Leslie quickly gets ready to shoot since she still has 5 bullets in her pistol. But Gage insists that she place the gun down, because the elephants have no natural predators, so he thinks the infected elephants won't attack them. A group of animal control officers, who are working on the animals, manages to get into the zoo by helicopter and into the feline's cage at that time to see if there are any infected animals in the zoo. Ellen watches the operation from her computer monitor and hears the screams of the officers being attacked while trying to kill the tiger that lives there. Frightened, the veterinarian tries to contact Rex, but the walkie-talkie is in the car being driven by Amber. When she gets to the exit of the zoo, the girl realizes that the gate is locked and starts shouting to attract the attention of the security camera in the hope that someone will open the gate for her. The vet sees her and calls her on a walkie-talkie and asks her where Rex is. Then Amber says that he must have been eliminated already and asks Ellen to open the gates. But the woman admits that as soon as the lockdown procedures were triggered, she lost control of all the doors. As they are talking, Ellen notices a group of animals coming towards them, so she instructs Amber to get in the car and turn around. But the little girl doesn't want to return to the zoo and begins to climb over the fence. Just then, a zombie lioness appears and grabs the girl's leg. It then drags her away from the gate. The vet sees Amber being attacked and can do nothing to help her, and hears the alarm, which means that an animal has entered the perimeter. While playing with her teddy bears, Thea notices a new koala on the shelf and goes up to it thinking it is a toy. Then the animal's eyes open and it begins to growl. Thea screams for help and her mother immediately runs towards her. When the woman finally gets to the door, however, she discovers her daughter, who has killed the zombies with a baseball bat and and is covered in blood. Rex and the rest of the trainees are riding the elephants, thinking that this will protect them from the zombie attack as no animal can attack the herd. But as they get near to the aviary, the elephants start to get suspicious and do not want to go forward. The three notice that there are zombie monkeys in the trees, and the elephants get scared when they see them. Rex then drops to the ground and his leg is stepped on by one of the elephants. Gage promptly runs to assist him, but is attacked by one of the primates. In terror, Leslie pulls out her gun and begins firing, but after 5 shots, she has no bullets left and they are helpless. Just as the zombies are about to attack them, Daxton appears and lets off a few rockets into the sky to scare the animals. As soon as the monsters leave, the man helps the youngsters take Rex back to his office, and AJ helps Leslie take care of the security guard's leg while Daxton puts antibiotic ointment on Gage's arm. Worried about the possibility of infection spreading outside the zoo, Daxton decides to call Chelsea, but the woman assures him that no zombies have entered the aviary. She said that only a small rat seemed to be there, and was quickly eaten by one of the birds. Despite Chelsea's assurances that all is well, Rex insists they must go to the aviary, and Leslie picks up a machete she finds in Daxton's room for protection. Despite the fact that all of his colleagues are against him, Daxton doesn't hesitate to go to Keogh's cage to protect the gorilla, after observing the security cameras that infected animals are surrounding Keogh's cage. The vet quickly goes to the paddock and discovers Kfo on the ground. Daxton immediately tries to wake him up, but soon discovers that the animal has been infected and has also turned into a monster. Terrified, the man tries to return to his room but is followed by the gorilla, which attacks him ferociously. Once Daxton is eliminated, Kfo goes in search of new victims. Seeing the trainee in danger, Rex takes the machete that was in Leslie's possession and attacks the zombie with a blow to the back. At this point, he orders the 3 trainees to flee, and the gorilla immediately knocks him down. Lastly, the animal crushes Rex's head and succeeds in killing him. Meanwhile, the 3 hide behind rocks in Keogh's habitat and do not want to be seen by the animal. As the youngsters climb the rocks, however, the animal gets their attention, and they are pursued by the animal until Gage has the idea of pushing a large rock over the gorilla. In this way, they manage to destroy the primate's skull and escape. As they hide in the woods, they hear an approaching car and soon discover Amber is close. But when they find her, they discover that the young woman is seriously injured, and she dies in Gage's arms, pleading for help. The boy is very disturbed by this scene, but Leslie attempts to reassure him and assures him that they will have a funeral for all their friends who have died when everything is straightened out. Leslie calls Ellen after taking Amber out of the car and tells her that Rex is missing. Concerned for the safety of the trainees, the veterinarian asks Leslie to take her friends as far away from the zoo as possible. Ellen's mission is to go to the aviary and pick up Chelsea and Ricky and get the hell out of there. Her only mission is to get out of the zoo alive. All of a sudden, the woman notices that some lions are coming towards the trainees, so she instructs Leslie to get in the Jeep and drive off right away. Luckily, when the lions appear, they are attracted by the smell of blood coming from Amber's body, and thanks to this, the trio manages to escape. As AJ drives at a high speed, Leslie notices that they are being followed by cats and requests Gage's assistance to shoot the cats. When the pair finally manage to get rid of the predators, AJ crashes the car, and they end up being thrown out of the vehicle. But everyone survives the accident, and Gage states that Ellen's office is close by. The vet at this point calls Chelsea and asks her to let the birds out of the aviary so they can get away. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that they will not be infected. Initially, Chelsea is not happy with this idea, as all the birds that reside there are endangered and they will not be able to survive in the wild on their own. But when she is told the severity of the situation, the woman tells Ellen to do what she says and asks Ricky to help her turn on the electronic device that will open the roof. Meanwhile, the 3 youngsters are walking through the woods, but almost get run down by a bunch of zombies, and they head towards the aviary. Chelsea now suspects that something is amiss with the birds and is attacked by a moth. To get to the building where Ellen is, Gage and his friends have to cross a zip line hanging from steel cables. However, halfway through, Leslie's cable snaps and she is able to cling to Gage, but AJ is not as fortunate and ends up falling to his death. The 2 soon arrive in Ellen's office safely, and the woman unlocks the door and lets them in. Hearing some animals approaching the facility, the group flees to the basement and grabs some flammable gas cylinders to use against the zombies in case they are attacked along the way. When she arrives at the aviary to pick up Chelsea, Ellen realizes that something is wrong because she can't communicate with her. So, Gage and Leslie go out to investigate and order Ellen to burn down the aviary in case something goes wrong. But once the interns are in the building, Ellen discovers that the glass ceiling is no longer intact as the birds unite to attempt to break it. She immediately asks her daughter to stay in the car and goes to get a gallon of flammable liquid. As they are walking through the aviary, Gage and Leslie encounter the bodies of Ricky and Chelsea, who were attacked by the birds until they died. After spreading the fuel around the building, Ellen uses a lighter to set it on fire and destroy the aviary before the infected birds can escape. The trainees are attacked at this moment and kill all the birds that approach them with their weapons. Suddenly they notice a huge amount of smoke coming towards them and they get out of the way before the fire strikes. Leslie discovers that the aviary will not be destroyed in time to stop the birds from escaping, so she asks Ellen to stop the truck as close to the aviary as possible and shoots at the flammable gas cylinders to create a large explosion. This way she can keep the birds from flying away and they all get barbecued right away. As they approach the gate, they are astonished to see Kfo, who somehow survived being hit by a rock. Seeing the rabid animal running towards them, the survivors pick up their pace to try and reach the gate, but they can't jump to the other side in time. Frightened, Thea tries to communicate with her old friend, but the animal doesn't respond and is about to eliminate the girl when Ellen manages to finish it off with one shot. Suddenly, a new police helicopter comes on the scene and the survivors are finally rescued from their nightmare. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.